is going to be 36 cologne, which means that there's not a whole lot of time for talk, so let's just get into it. Really no discernible start, so the way that I'm doing it is I'm picking the colognes that I got first. My very first cologne, Michael Jordan. So, sounds pretty good too. Smells even better. My father wore this cologne. This is the microscopic version, obviously. It is the quintessential sort of sports, sudsy, soapy kind of cologne. Very first cologne that I ever smelled in this world. Still love it. Second, Blue Seduction by Antonio Banderas. Interesting smell, very fragrant, very feminine, some fruity notes, and when we get into some of the other colognes, if you're interested in checking out more of a deep dive of my stuff, I have lots of videos on these colognes where I go over the notes and whatnot. This is just a show and tell. This was the first cologne that I ever bought, or was given to me, and it might actually be the original bottle that was given to me as well. It came in one of those gift sets with the soaps and all of that stuff. Very interesting cologne. Next one. This is a cologne that I didn't even realize that I had till like 5 minutes ago. This is the quintessential summer cologne. CK1 by Calvin Klein. Floral, fragrant, summer, aromatic. Very good. Survives the test of time. The next one, I used to get these all the time when I was a youngster. You get these from sisters, mothers. They don't know about designer colognes, but they do know about Bath and Body Works. You can actually still get this I keep wanting to say Bed Bath and Beyond, at Bath and Body Works. This is Noir. This is their woodsy fragrance. Some good noisemakers in this group. This is their, it actually smells really good. It's funny, you'll see so many of these designer fragrances that should not cost what they do, and then you'll see fragrances like this, which should cost much more than they do. I think I got that a long time ago. Still haven't used it. Now, I had these in another video of my most insulted colognes. That'll be in this playlist if you're interested. Nautica. Nautica was probably my first. I hesitate to use the word designer cologne, but the first designer cologne that I put into my collection as Christmas gifts. I don't even think it makes as good as sounds. Now there's the reason why I hate on Not a Guy. I discussed this in 2 of my other videos. It's just, there's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing great about it either. It's just heavily overproduced, generic scent. And while I have that we're talking about, I'll also bring up the other Nautica. This one, I really don't like that much. You'll see a lot of these colognes. I've had these in my collection for a long time, 6, 8 years, and whatever you do, don't buy into that whole, oh, it's 3 years old, so it's time to get a new one. Store these things properly, and they'll last you for a long time. There we go. It's just everyone and their mother got this for Christmas. It's forgettable, but it's not bad. It's what I would say is, perfectly inoffensive. It's not horrible. It's not great either. And then lastly, I'll finish up with the Nautica Voyage. Please don't call it Voyage. I've heard people do that. Oh, that's a good one. And that's the same thing. You have kind of a silvery cap. It's kind of cooler, but not a horrible fragrance. I don't want to spray this. Not a horrible fragrance. It's just, gosh, it's just not there. It's forgettable. Mass produced. Just not a fan. Okay. And then, leading up to my high school cologne, I thought that I was on with this cologne. I had a girl tell me that, like one of the first girls that I was interested in. This is a long time ago. This is so cringe. She said that she liked Burberry, so I got Burberry, and Burberry is a very very spicy fragrance. A little perfumey, but still masculine. Kind of like if Grandma and the Spice Bomb had a baby. It's weird to say that out loud, but that's kind of what it's like. Now, I used to get something. Excuse me. Almost totally forgot. This cologne, Cool Water by Davidoff, a clone, C-L-O-N-E, of Green Irish Tweed by Creed, at least they say. Ooh. Super. Lots and lots of just weird alcohol vibes on this guy. See, the cat makes a good noise. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Green Irish Tweed, summery, woodsy. A little fruity at the beginning, but aren't we all? I thought I was on. That was before my Burberry days. Dark days. Okay. Whenever I got into colognes and I knew nothing about it and I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on colognes that I didn't have anyways, I got something called Debonair Scent, and it is a monthly subscription service that I don't even know how much it was. It wasn't a lot. It was not a lot. And you pay for the subscription and they send you 3 different colognes. Now, the thing about these colognes is that I think they're assuming that the person that's only paying, 10 or 12 bucks for this box, and they're very tiny, doesn't have the desire to spend a lot of money on colognes. So they give you the cheaper colognes as well, the samples. But I have a couple of the times the samples that I really, really liked, and I'm going to show those to you now. I think that's in the right order. The first one that I do not regret at all is Tommy Bahama's Cognac. Oh. Ooh. I like that. It's like a drum line. Tommy Bahama's Cognac. I'm actually spray this bad boy. Wata! I love this stuff. This is actually a lot of the stuff. It's just, I look back on, I'm like, why did I like that? Tastes evolve. Different things that appeal to you are not the same now as they were then. But this one is, I really like this scent. Never get it in the store. Just go in there and tap on it. I like that. Get it online for very, very inexpensive. Super, super fruity, this guy. And got a lot of hate because it was so different from the original Tommy Bahama, but I think it's phenomenal. I really do. I'd highly recommend it. I think it's one of those sleepers. My next Debonair scent pickup is Arsenals, and I don't even remember what this is. I know it's made in France just like everything else, but I don't even remember what this is. I know it's Arsenal, and I know it looks like a grenade. Plastic. So, not nearly. This is one of those colognes that I look back on and I'm like, why did I get this? It's super generic. I think this might have been trying to clone Spice Bomb, because Spice Bomb is also in the shape of a grenade, but if this tried to clone Spice Bomb, it did a horrible job. Just saying. Okay, now I only have 2 remaining that came from there, but I do have a worthy mention. Actually, that's not true. One more. The Golden Secret. This, just like Blue Seduction. Oh, that's nice. You can see it's reflexive too. It's gonna make some good noises. Yeah. Debonair scent. Again, I think this is a 4.2 ounce for like $20. And the guy who made this, I can't remember who it was, but it's actually a guy who was a designer for a big, $150 designer cologne, made this. I have it on one of my videos. If you're a super fanboy of me, I don't think those exist, but I do mention it in one of my other videos. This super fruity notes, but it opens up with just a whiff of bergamot that a lot of higher end colognes have before finishing in a very Gino Valentino kind of way of suave and seductive. It's a pattern in Antonio Banderas colognes. If I was to take one cologne to put in the car, just a cologne that I didn't care if it got hot and it denatured it, whatever, just a throwaway cologne, it'd be that, because it's wonderful. Now, I have one cologne to add in here. There is a ASMR artist named Blade Whisper Pro, and he has video. His first viral video was a haircut video, and I don't even know how many millions of views it has, but he's come out with a couple cologne videos, and what I realized from watching his videos is that me and him are two totally different as far as what we like scent profile wise. But I took his advice on a couple, and this is one of them. This is I Am King by Sean John, and it's just, I don't know, you find different noses, and I like that. Different noses, but also how the scent dries on people's skin is totally different. So he might have put it on skin and it smelled great on his skin, and it smells horrible on mine. It's possible, but it's just not a great cologne in my opinion. It's masculine, it's soapy, it's the bergamot, the wildflower, and the woodsy. It's everything on paper that you should like. I just don't. Okay, now we're getting into graduate school colognes. So graduate school for me has to be none other than Acqua di Gio. Acqua di Gio. Opens up with what they call these generic salt notes. It's just super salty, super beachy, and tons of notes. I think there's like 27 notes in here. But this was my graduate school cologne, and everybody knows Acqua di Gio. If you smell it, it'll take you right back. This is also featured in some of my other cologne videos. The problem with colognes that everybody has is that everybody has memories with these colognes, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. My memories with this cologne are all great, but say that you have a crush and you're trying to take her out, or whatever, what have you, and her ex-boyfriend or whatever wore this cologne. It's so popular, there's a good chance of that, and I've had it happen before, so I've been victim. these things. None of these colognes shake up well. Not that you're supposed to shake up colognes. Everybody loves Acqua di Gio. I say that rhetorically. I'm sure there's some people that don't. With that being said, I reviewed this. One of my other videos. If you want to see more, go check it out. But go. I think they sell it even in Walmart. Is a phenomenal clone of Acqua di Gio. I see these posts, these videos, people saying, if price was no object, what cologne would you try? And people always say, oh, Creed or Leighton or something like that. And I don't think that there's enough, whatever you want to call it, not enough information that people they don't know that clones of these colognes exist, and some of these clones get really, really close, and they're much, much cheaper than these designer fragrances. Some of them even sound better. And this is an example of one of those clones that smells almost as good as the original. Then, of course, with Acqua di Gios, you also have the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum, I think it gets harsher critique than it probably should. But the thing I don't get about Giorgio Armani is when you have your eau de toilette, then your eau de parfum, then your parfum, they're supposed to smell similar. It's just a different level of concentration. And Giorgio Armani totally changes the recipe for the EDT, the EDP, and then the parfum. I just don't get it. I really don't. It's more of the same stuff, but a lot fewer notes. You open up salty, but then it's more over the top fruity as well. It's a lot of people just don't like it. Then we have the mother of all, unfortunately discontinued. I made a video about this. Possibly the best cologne ever made, and this is Acqua di Gio Profumo, excuse me. They have another one called Profondo that I don't like. That's in a blue bottle. They still make that one. This one is just Acqua di Gio perfected. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just so good. It opens up with that. Oh yeah, and it has one of those magnetic caps too, which I love. I don't know why I love them, but I do. Oh, sorry. It's just Acqua di Gio perfected. It's Acqua di Gio in its purest form. It's probably the most masculine version of it. It's difficult to explain. You just gotta go try it, and if you do, you'll have to buy it on the secondhand market now, which sucks. Their parfum is supposed to be similar, but it's not exact. Sauvage, Dior, everybody's gotta have one. This is the EDT. The Eau de Parfum is better. This also has a magnetic cap. other than Acqua di Gio and Bleu de Chanel, this has the most selling cologne out of any colognes out there. I think that it's probably a little too popular, but it's really nice. It's hard to argue with its success. It's plastic. Super woodsy, a little floral at the beginning, but just super woodsy, musky. I think the base notes are sandalwood, something like that. It's super solid, but again, it's one of those that so many people have it that you're gonna find other people that say, "Oh, I know what that is," and again, people when they smell something, they think something, and the last thing you want to do smell like somebody's ex-boyfriend. That's all I'm saying. You want to smell like their future boyfriend, right? Fist bump, boom. Okay. This is what happens when I don't do a role play. You get the full version of me. Okay. While we're on the topic, Bleu de Chanel, I think possibly the most, I don't want to say overrated, but overhyped. Probably, it's expensive, overpriced, we'll say that. But again, look at this. Wata. Wata. Magnetic cap. I love it. This opens up with a note. Of pink pepper, and I can't stand pink pepper. It stings my nose, and the first time that I ever watched this, I talk about it more in detail in the video that I posted of this. But the first time I ever tried it, it gets built up so much. And the first time I ever tried it, I was like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. It's subtle, it's sweet, it's aromatic, it's not spicy, at least not at the beginning. But the top notes on this thing, in my opinion, just are not great. You have to give it time to mature, and once it matures, it's phenomenal. But people think that it's a little too generic for the price that they want. It's $165 for this. I'll tell you what is underpriced. They need to charge at least double for this cologne, and I have a feeling it's going to be the best sounding cologne. Is Versace Eros. Eros, named after the god, Greek god. I don't know what he was the Greek god of, and I think it's Greek. Could be Roman. I'm pretty sure it's Greek. But Versace Eros, super fruity off the bat. Super, super fruity, almost like candy kind of smelling. Super sweet. Let's get a spray going on. I'm also allergic to it, so I probably shouldn't have sprayed it. But I had to stop wearing this guy because I started breaking out in hives. I don't know what it is, but I'm a violinist, concert violinist, and luckily it wasn't a performance, it was just a rehearsal. But I sprayed this before, and ended up breaking out in hives. Fun times. got a really cool bottle. It's got a face on it that has all of these intricate sort of lines and patterns, almost like a labyrinth. I think that's really cool. I wish I wasn't allergic to it. I would wear it all the time. But super affordable. Super, super affordable. Some clones, you have to go out there and look for the clones. And that one's not. It's priced well. It's priced right. Okay. Let's get into some recent pickups. So all of these now that you're going to see are my most recent pickups, and I think every single one of these you can go watch the video on. These are all brand new. The reason why I even started an ASMR channel was I was getting into cologne collecting, and I love cologne videos, ASMR videos on YouTube, and I just thought, if I'm going to be getting all of these colognes, let's just film them, and maybe somebody will experience some relaxation. So these are actually why I started an ASMR channel. Fun fact. And most of them are clones, so this will be really fun. Let's start with the one that isn't, and that's Why Men Know. Yves Saint Laurent has a ton of really good colognes. I think this one's probably one of my favorites. This is the new version of Why Men. This is the Eau de Parfum Intense. Intense being a even more concentrated version. Not a magnetic cap. I just really like it, and one spray will last you a long time. It's woodsy, very, very woodsy, a little soapy, but it matures into being more of a woodsy to where you can't mistake it for like a shower gel or something. It lasts a long time. It's really good. I like it. And this was Adam Levine advertised this in the great advertising wars of him versus Johnny Depp in Savage. And now Lenny Kravitz is their guy. Moving on to really weird advertisements. This Dollars to Donuts is my favorite cologne right now. This is Gino Valentino. Is it Gino? I want to say it's Gino. This is Valentino. Born in Roma. Intense. Get the intense. It has to be the intense. I think this is the Eau de Parfum Intense. And the Eau de Toilette, I don't like it. Honestly repulses me. So I don't know what it is about this. I love this. I hate the other variations of it. Super cool bottle. It's got these spikes. I like it. It is very floral, and it's definitely a little bit more on the feminine side. This, I think, has the strangest commercial. They advertise it like a clubbing perfume, or a perfume, cologne, whatever you want to call it. I don't get it, because to me it has a lot of maturity. You know, this is not a cologne that I'm afraid to wear out in a business meeting. super floral, but it's just masculine enough, I think. Oh, that was a leaker. I just love it. Go to your nearest Ulta and try this. It's hard to describe. It's really, really good. Okay. God, I still have so many. I don't even know if I'm halfway done yet. Okay. Moving on. Très Nuit, I think probably one of the greatest colognes in existence. This is a clone of Green Irish Tweed by Creed, and I think it makes it 98% of the way there. It has this leather belt that goes all the way around it. This is by Armaf, one of the great Middle Eastern fragrance houses. Plastic buckle here. Leather. It's super floral, super spring, summertime. Oh gosh, that was gross. Yeah, very, very different from all of the other ones that I showed. It's something that you would wear only in the summer, I would think, and also be careful with it because it lasts forever. But Green Irish Tweed, $400. This stuff, like $25. It's a no-brainer. That's what I wish people knew more about colognes, because they could be wearing the designer colognes that they can't afford, and they could be doing it for next to nothing, and they don't know. Next one, Assad by Lattafa. This is another cologne that I'm allergic to, and this is a cologne of Dior's Sauvage Elixir, which I don't like at all. I'm in the minority there. So many people love it. It's, super woodsy, super masculine, and supposedly lasts all day. I wouldn't know because I'm allergic. Sometimes it sucks to have allergies. Okay, off and on, 9 p.m. If you've ever wanted to wear Jean Paul Gaultier's Alpha Male, this is the cologne, and I think this might have the distinction of actually being better than the original. The original gets a lot of hate for being too fruity. It's got this like ball on here. It's weird. And this kind of balances it out. It's not overly fruity. It's not overly sweet. This is kind of like your clubbing cologne, but I don't know if as many people know about 9 p.m. because Alpha Male is not that expensive. And so I think a lot of people just buy the Alpha Male, but it's good. Super fruity off the bat, but not overpowering. And then hits you with some musk at the end. Okay. Dollars to Donuts, my favorite cheap cologne for the winter time. This is Kreml. I think you can get them in TJ Maxx and local places like that. This is the spice and the black vanilla. I have not tried their other stuff, so I only vouch for this one. This is black vanilla. I think it's tobacco or some sort of masculine middle scent, and then bergamot as your top note. That's it. 3 notes. That's it. Super simple. never wear this when it's hot. Terrible things will happen. It mixes with your sweat, and just the smell of black vanilla in the summer is disgusting. But for $12, it is a standalone banger. Incredible scent. Let's get on to some other Middle Eastern cologne houses. Toscano Leather by Mason Alhambra. Again, a pound to pound equivalent of Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. So similar, in fact, that they were hit with a lawsuit for being that similar. Now, this fragrance made it to the top of the list of my most insulted colognes. Leather is an incredibly divisive fragrance, incredibly divisive. People either love it or they hate it. And the people who hate it, they don't just not like it, it makes them physically ill to even be around it. And I was on a date one time, and I went into TJ Maxx, and they had I can never remember the other one, as ombre leather, and it actually has some fruity notes. It's not nearly as bad as this as far as the leather. And I sprayed it, and I swear if I got it on my clothes, that would have been the end of the date. I was fortunate enough, I sprayed it, and then I did that to try to smell it so I could wash it off, but it absolutely repulsed the person I was with. And this is the same thing with this. It makes you smell like you're on a farm, and I can't stand it, but it sells. Lattafa's Kamra, this was the second ASMR video that I ever did. It's plastic. Yeah. Second ASMR video I ever did, Lattafa Kamra. It markets itself as a clone of Angel Share by Killian, but it's not. It truly is its own standalone cologne, and it's super sultry, super seductive, ton of the vanilla and like the caramel notes. It's super feminine, but I've rocked it a couple times. And my exact quote when I first tried it was, "I will never wear this," and they ended up wearing it all the time. In fact, it's just so good. It's super spicy, and it settles down into being much more masculine than when it starts off. When it starts off, you're like, this is a perfume. I just put on a lady's perfume, and it gets better. Rasasi Hawas. Great website, Fragrance By. It's a Canadian website, Canada's top supplier. They run a ton of deals. And the last order that I placed from them, I ordered enough that I was able to get a huge discount and basically get this for free. It's like a $50, $60 cologne for free. Now this is a standalone cologne. It's not a clone of anything. Super soapy, super masculine, super in your face. You know, it's a blues cologne. It's exactly what you would expect. Summertime, springtime, little bubble gumming, like a little sweet. It's really nice. The first time I tried it, I was like, what the heck is this? and I really have grown to like it. Rasasi Hawasan, highly recommend it. Let's move on to my Club de Nuits. Everybody knows Club de Nuit. If you don't, then welcome. Here's Club de Nuit. This particular one is the Milestone, which is a clone of Millesime by Creed, which is a fancy old lady cologne, or not cologne, but perfume. I really like the presentation of these. This one is salty. Opens with a super salty note. The thing that I don't like about it is it's so sweet. It's aromatic, it's floral, I grew up in Florida, Fort Myers, Florida, right on the beach, and it just takes me back to like every old woman that you'd walk by in the grocery store. It's just your quintessential old Florida retiree woman, and it's not bad, but that's what it is. As long as you know that, you're good. Club de Nuit Intense. This is the Parfum edition. This is what put Armaf and Club de Nuit on the map. This was the OG, and this is a clone of Creed's Aventus, which I think is probably the most overhyped, overrated cologne out there. I'm not a fan of it. This smells a little bit more synthetic, not as high quality, but it's very, very similar. And the Parfum version, which is the limited edition version, it's still like a tenth of the price of Aventus, and no one will be able to tell the difference. So with this one, it has a very distinct profile when it opens up. It opens up with a distinct lemon pineapple kind of scent, and this guy, let me tell you, this guy will linger all day. 2 sprays of this and you'll still be smelling it 15 hours later. I swear. It's okay. Do not overspray this. It's super smoky. It's super aromatic, super spicy, and not everybody's gonna like that. And that's definitely one of those I think people tend to overspray. Invictus Pacorabon. This is the original Eau de Toilette version. The only one that I like. I don't like the Eau de Parfum. This is your Blues Cologne. It's simple, it's aromatic, it's woodsy. Yeah, takes you back to summer. It's like CK1, you know, it's just that quintessential. You smell it and it's summer, it's springtime, it's floral, it's aquatic, it's salty, you know, it's a wonderful scent. Again, go to Ulta, at least try it. The number 1 most sold Black Friday cologne, Azzaro's The Most Wanted Intense. Brand new offering. I love the bottle because it looks like a revolver cylinder. Ooh. There is Azzaro's Wanted. That's not what this is. Then there's the most wanted. Again, that's not what this is. And then there's the most wanted by night. That's not what this is. They're all different. I think the Eau de Parfum version is the best, but a lot of people like the Parfum. It's sultry, it's sweet, it's kind of licoricey, like a cinnamon, super spicy in the opening notes, and only has 4 notes, I think. Super simple, but when I went into Ulta to test it one time, I always wear out my favorite, so I'll go test a bunch, and then before I leave, I'll spray the one I like the best on me, and this beat out everything else. I really like it. Okay, back to Middle Eastern colognes. Al Haramain's Amber Oud. This is the Club de Nuit version of Al Haramain. They have a ton of these. This is the clone of Herba Pura by Xerjoff. These clones, oh my god, these clones are, they're so good that some of these actually cost more than the originals. This is the gold edition, which, like I said, is Herba Pura. Opens up with basically, if bubblegum was a fragrance, it would be this. It's super fruity, opens up with what they call red fruits, and does not quit. This is your clubbing cologne or a really fruity perfume. I like it a lot. I do. I like it a lot. I just don't wear it. I would never wear that. No, I wear this all the time. This is the Blue Exclusive. This is the clone of Parfums de Marly's Leighton. God, I love it. It's like a gym cologne. It's super sultry and hits you right up front with a super sweet mixed with a super woody note, and it's like a mature shower gel is the best way that I can describe it. But do be careful with this one because it actually costs more than the actual Parfums de Marly's Leighton. This is 2 ounces. Leighton comes in 4.2 ounces. So make sure that you do the math before you buy this guy. 2 more. Yves Saint Laurent's Myself. This is the brand new offering from Yves Saint Laurent. I never pay full price for colognes. It's stupid. I never go into a store and walk out with it paying full price. I did with this. I walked in right when it came out, did not want to wait for it to get to discounters, and just paid full price. This is 3.3 ounces and is part of their new initiative to make refillable cologne. So this is refillable, and it opens up with a very sweet floral note, and it subsides into a very woody note, very masculine, very evergreen, musky, the only thing that I hate about this cologne is the name, because I can never talk about it. Every time I say, oh, I love myself, or it just sounds like I'm giving myself positive affirmations or something. I don't like this name, and I don't know why they picked it. Last cologne, Brioni. If you have followed any of my fashion channels or fashion videos, I am a huge fan of Brioni. I love Brioni. This is their scent, Brioni Intense. It is the weirdest fragrance and one of the most divisive fragrances I think you'll ever find. So I think that's really cool. If you see that, that's what their logo looks like on the suits and their clothing. And the reason why I say it's weird is because it has this really sort of distinct, kind of like a grapefruit. It's like a grapefruit licorice bubblegum lemon. I don't even know how to describe it, but it has this super strong opening note that I've never found in any other cologne, and this is what you would call a niche cologne. And the problem with niche colognes like Brioni and Baccarat 540, they're not for everybody. They weren't made for everybody. They are concocted differently and then prohibitively, illegally, in my opinion, expensive. Baccarat, $500 for a piece of funny smelling water, and that's what you get with niche fragrances like this. And it's just not everyone's gonna like it. Not everybody is gonna like this, and this goes the same thing with all of these colognes. Yeah, I know that you have to like it, and it should be about you liking it, but if you go everywhere and you repulse people by how you smell, that's not good. That's not a result that you want. And when you get into niche fragrances like Brioni and some of the other ones, the Herbapura and the Zerjovs, and there's a couple different, Mancera, I want to say, but it's divisive, and there's a reason why bland fragrances like Nautica are so popular, where fragrances like Brioni, you never even hear of them. So anyways, this was my cologne collection. I didn't price it out like a lot of the other YouTubers typically do, but this is it, 36 colognes of what I had here. I hope you found this relaxing, enjoyable, and I wanted to do a cologne video because so many of my subscribers came from the early days where I was just doing cologne videos, so I wanted to kick back and show some love to them. So thank you for joining me. If you're still here, thank you. If you fell asleep, great, it worked. I won't be offended. Thank you, everybody, and hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and I will see you